Okay, Dayton City Commission meeting will now come to order. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. This morning, the Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Commissioner Fairchild. Before we do that, I'd like to have a moment of silence, please, for two giants from this community. We lost an employee who had retired, Mary Seegey, from the system for more than 30 years of work in the city, and then retired, came back, and gave some more passion and love for this community as well. And then, of course, we had the unfortunate passing of Ms. Karen Wick. Karen Wick was a member of the Dayton School Board, also was a candidate for the Dayton City Commission, was another one of those individuals who never had a glass that was less than half full, and always found positive things to say about each and every person that she came in contact with. All right, please bow your heads. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Fairchild.
Let's pray. Oh, gracious one, slow us down, settle us, make us mindful of the precious nature of this day, of this hour, of this moment. Open our eyes to all of your possibilities, equip us to take advantage of them, and give us the wisdom and courage to be responsible stewards of them. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, may I have a roll call, please, Ms. McClendon?
Mayor Mims.
Aye.
Commissioners Joseph.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Fairchild.
Aye.
Turner-Sloss.
Aye.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from the December 3rd meeting?
So moved, John.
Second the motion, Your Honor.
Been probably moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the December 3rd meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Okay. Communications and petitions, Ms. McClendon.
There are none, Your Honor.
There are none. Okay, Ms. Dickstein, do you have any presentations?
We do, Your Honor. This is one of my favorite presentations of the year. This is our annual Klein Awards, which recognizes excellence in service by the City of Dayton employees. This year, we have 9 awardees with a total of 94 years of collective public service.
Man.
So I'd like to call forward Kate Spencer from Dayton Foundation to help lead us in the acknowledgement of our recipients.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. My name is Kate Spencer, Donor Relations Officer at the Dayton Foundation, and I'm pleased to be here today to present the 2025 Joseph T. Klein Awards. Also in the audience today is Meredith A. Klein, his granddaughter. Meredith,
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here.
All right.
This Endowed Memorial Awards Fund was established in 1984 by his daughter, Carolyn H. Klein, to remember and honor her father. At 41 years, it is the second oldest donor-advised fund held at the Dayton Foundation. Joseph T. Klein founded, chaired, and volunteered for many civic, philanthropic, and business organizations in Dayton, the gem city he avidly supported and treasured. The Klein Fund was established to encourage excellence by City of Dayton employees, regardless of rank or position. As a testament to that, the 2025 recipients range in service years from 2 to 33. Community service is also factored into the selection process. This year, we received 22 nominations. Thank you to all the nominators who helped make these awards possible. This year's honorees were selected by a committee made up of 3 city administrators and a Dayton Foundation representative. The fund's criteria sets a limit of 10 awards per year, making the selection committee's job a difficult one. After thoughtful review and consideration, we are pleased to present the best of Dayton's best today. The award amount varies from year to year. This year, $5,488.80 will be divided equally among the 9 recipients, who will each receive $609.87. The work of these 9 awardees represents an amazing 94 total years of service, and we thank you all for your dedication. Now, I'd like to welcome to the podium Joseph T. Klein's granddaughter and niece of Carolyn H. Klein, Meredith A. Klein, all the way here from Key Largo, Florida, who will help me hand out the award certificates. Awardees, when I call your name, please come up to receive your certificate and then stay at the front, and we'll get a photo opportunity at the end. Okay. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Is everybody ready? Okay. So our first awardee is Shannon Bush, Office Assistant 2 in the Office of the City Manager, with 6 years of service. The next awardee, Paul Fleischman, is unable to be here today. He's out of town, but Paul Fleischman, Environmental Compliance Coordinator with the Department of Water, with 9 years of service. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay, the next awardee is Carolyn Glover, Business Manager in the Department of Information Technology. And Carolyn has an amazing 33 years of service. Next, we have Steve Junker, Systems Analyst 2 in the Department of Information Technology, with 10 years of service.
Thank you, Bert.
Our next awardee is Amber King, Benefits Associate 1 in Human Resources, with 2 years of service. Next, we have Wendy Mitchell, Office Manager in the Human Relations Council, 7 years of service. Our next awardee, Vanessa Moon, Office Manager, Department of Information Technology, with 6 years of service. Well, let's give her a round of applause anyway. Next, we have Erin Thomas, firefighter paramedic in the fire department, with 11 years of service. And our final awardee for the day, Brian Urban, Parks and Forestry District Supervisor, Public Works, with 10 years of service. Okay, and I think we're going to try to get a photograph. If everyone wants to hold their certificates.
Squish in.
Everybody squish in. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having us.
You know, one of the most exciting and most important things that we do at the city is to recognize those who are carrying the banner for the commissioners and the mayor out in the community, and also within the different departments in which they work. It's always special, and I know my colleagues probably have another word or two they'd like to share as well, and thanking the individuals who have received these awards. So just stay for just a second. Okay. So we'll start with Commissioner Turner-Sloss.
Thank you, Mayor. I just would like to thank Ms. Spencer. Thank you for being here from the Dayton Foundation, as well as to the family of Meredith Klein. Thank you very much for continuing on your family's legacy, and thank you for traveling so far away to be here. I know sometimes you have to zoom in, but it's good to see your face, and I'm glad you were able to make the trip. Congratulations to all 9 recipients. You make this organization run on a daily basis, and I just want to let you know that you are greatly appreciated. We appreciate your commitment, your service, and the tenacity in all that you do, and really making the city of Dayton a great place to live, work, and play, and with you being at the helm of doing all of that great work. So congratulations to you all, and right on time for the holiday season. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Fairchild.
Yeah, no, echo my colleagues' comments. Thank you to the Klein family. Good to see you, Ms. Klein. Glad you're here. And thank you for carrying on this legacy. And thank you to the Dayton Foundation for enabling that to happen. It's amazing. I think the testimony of all today is the enthusiasm your coworkers had in celebrating the achievement that you do. And we know that it's what you do on a daily basis because you are committed public servants. So thank you for what you do for the citizens of Dayton, for this organization, and I hope you can we just magnify your commitment and spirit. So thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Shaw.
Can't really say it any better than that. Just congratulations to all of the recipients, and also to you, Ms. Klein, for being here and your continued work and celebrating our great employees. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph.
Thank you to all of you. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for the work that's seen, and for everybody, thank you for the work that nobody sees. That's a big. We know that for everyone that's here and we're honoring, there are 10 folks that have done things that are certainly worth honoring. So thank you to all our employees. To those of you who are here, and to the Klein Foundation, thank you very much. This is kind of a fun one, too, because we often try to honor people who have 25 or 30 or 35 years of service, but this gets the whole range of folks, and I hope it gives encouragement to others along all times in their careers and all seasons that they can be great employees and can contribute. But thank you all. We really do appreciate your work.
You know, it's really special. Go back and think about, I think it was 2014, we started doing the internal customer service training within the city. And each and every year, we seem to see a lot of employees who are happy, just like you guys are, and saying things and cheering for each other, as was mentioned before, is always special for us because, again, as sometimes we take heat, you take heat as well, a lot more than we do, because you're out there in the trenches every day dealing with some of the challenges that we have. So again, thank you again, and have a happy holiday, and spend that 87 cents as well. I mean, you know, yeah, the last part of that dollar amount that you got, okay, I know it's valuable as well. Thank you again. Ms. 16, any additions, deletions, or comments to the calendar?
Your Honor, I have no additions or deletions to this morning's calendar. I do have a couple of items I would like to highlight. Item number 14 is a development agreement with Citywide Development Corporation. This is our strategic partnership. Citywide staff help augment the staff, the P&D staff in our neighborhoods through neighborhood planning and investment, particularly in our place-based strategic areas such as Phoenix Next, the Salem Avenue Corridor, Da Vinci, HUD Choice, and West Dayton neighborhoods, and Burkhart. They also provide support to greater downtown development, particularly adaptive reuse for some of our vacant buildings and helping to attract investment to the redevelopment of some of those buildings. And then, of course, our tech business development, right, making sure that we are doing all that we can for those small businesses and technology firms, particularly located in Techtown, and attracting and continuing to develop that out. And then item number 15 is a development agreement with the Dayton Miami Valley Entrepreneur Center, doing business as the Entrepreneur Center. This provides support and virtual incubation services to tech tenants, other Dayton-based small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs. Some of those activities include hosting workshops or events for potential entrepreneurs, partnership activities with the Greater West Dayton Incubator, tech technology business assistance again, and then small business support through mentors, advisors, and investors. And of course, they provide oversight to and house the Small Business Development Center, which has provided greater than 5,000 hours of service to over 420 clients, which is a really important first door for many of our small businesses who are seeking technical assistance. And then finally, they house the Community Benefits Coordinator, which is a position we created to help with the community benefits expectations in the arcade project. This coordinator is the one that is helping to make sure we're taking resources, programs to our neighborhoods and inviting folks in our neighborhoods to connect to the hub. So we wanted to make sure that we had that back when we put the arcade development forward. And then the last item that I would like to highlight is Emergency Ordinance Number 32172-25, which is amending the city's appropriations for the year 2025. And the final revised appropriation ordinance before you today is being requested as emergency, so it can take effect immediately after the second reading on December 17th. Unlike the original appropriation and our mid-year revisions, which are typically non-emergencies, the final revised appropriation has historically been an emergency. This approach continues to make sense for several reasons. First, the final revised serves as our year-end budget. Passing it as an emergency allows us to use the most up-to-date financial information, which helps ensure we stay in compliance from an auditing standpoint. So, for example, this year's analysis includes 24 out of 26 payroll cycles. So only about 8% of the payroll has to be estimated. If this were not an emergency, we would have to rely on much older data, like 20 or 21 payroll cycles, because we'd have to do it much earlier, because remember, we have 30 days before an ordinance takes place. So that would require estimating over 20% of our payroll, and it could result in larger year-end variances. Having more complete data also gives us the ability to make strategic transfers at year-end when appropriate. In years when we have an operating surplus, those transfers help us make targeted investments, often in our capital supporting our services that support long-term financial stability. So at this point in time, I'd like to call up our Management and Budget Director, Abby Patel-Jones, to walk through that appropriation and highlight the changes.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning. Thank you, City Manager. Good morning, Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager, Clerk. As the City Manager mentioned, this is the final revised appropriation, and there we go. So this is the third and the final revised appropriation, a net increase of $2.3 million or 0.2% when compared to the second revised appropriation. Before you today, we have a couple slides showing the changes throughout the final revised appropriation. Starting with the general fund, we have a net decrease of $78,000, which reflects a strong budget management across all the across the entire organization, and also provides us the opportunity, as the City Manager mentioned, to do year-end transfers, strategic transfers, to make those investments specifically in police, fire, and planning department, which I'll discuss just in a little bit.
Excuse me. Hold on.
Excuse me.
Mayor, Ms. Patel-Jones, could you please zoom in? Could you allow us to view it, please, closer? Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Patel-Jones.
Is that better?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
So across all departments, the first two lines shows the adjustment in personnel. There is a net decrease between those two lines. There's a net decrease of $295,400, and as you have heard throughout the year, staffing challenges and vacancies has created savings across many departments. However, these savings are being utilized for budget increases, specifically in police and fire. Police department has an increase of $1.4 million in the personnel budget. This is largely driven by the wage adjustments related to early graduation and graduating higher than expected number of recruits, as well as overtime. And the fire department has a increase of $1.2 million in personnel. This is largely tied to the overtime related to maintaining minimum staffing requirement across the organization, or across the city, I should say. But the good news is that the increased recruitment and training efforts have helped both police and fire fill key positions this year, which is not only important for our service delivery, but it also is going to allow us to help reduce the overtime needs in the coming year. The remaining personnel savings is being used to fill the centralized vacancy. As you know, the centralized vacancy has been utilized as a budget solution since 2018. And this year's centralized vacancy savings was $1.8 million, which we budget negatively in our non-departmental budget. And so these savings also allow us to fill that gap that we created intentionally as a budget solution. Below the personnel, we have $100,000 increase for fire department in contracts and material. This increase is for two things. $30,000 is for the fleet repair and maintenance cost, and $70,000 is covering the electricity cost through the end of the year. Public Works Department has similar increase, both for fleet repair and maintenance and electricity costs totaling $195,000 change. The use of non-departmental contingency is supporting those two increases in police and, in fire and public works. In addition to that, non-departmental also has two transfers out. One is the $200,000 for community paramedicine program. And then the other one is the $117,000 $300 for the unallowable CDBG expenses. This transfer is to reconcile prior year home fund expenditures that were later determined by HUD to be not eligible under federal guidelines, so we're making this adjustment. And the $200,000 transfer for the community paramedicine program, it is funding the program, which is now primarily funded from the general fund. And then lastly, non-departmental has a decrease of $302,600, which reflects lower than expected expenditures for the NATO event and the corresponding reimbursement from the state of Ohio. At the very end, for the general fund, we have, and I think we're cutting it off. There we go. The general fund includes $520,000 transfer out to capital, which address the capital need for police, fire, and P&D. These vehicles that you see in front of you were requested for the 2026 budget. However, due to limited resources, we were not able to fund those for 2026. So the opportunity, having a lower expenditure than expected for 2025, allows us to make those transfers for those departments. Okay, so turning to the Special Revenue Fund. Special Revenue Fund has $125,000 increase for the Montgomery County Convention Facilities Authorities. This increase is covering the final hotel motel tax sharing payment, which is driven by the higher than expected revenue collections this year. We also have $200,000 increase to the One Ohio Opioid Fund to transfer GROW program personnel costs from the general fund. This shift is what's freeing up the capacity in the general fund for us to fund the community paramedicine program. And then we have $34,000 $500 increase. That increase is in the REAP Lot Links Fund. It is covering prior year expenditures incurred before we transition the fund from general capital to the Special Revenue Fund. We also have a nearly $1.5 million increase in the Street Maintenance Fund. This is a biennial transfer that is coming from the Street Maintenance Operating Fund to the Street Maintenance Capital Fund. It is allowing us to do those annual purchases, capital equipment purchases for the street maintenance operation. This capital fund was specifically established to keep track and monitor the spending, capital spending, because this is a finite source. And so that's why we're doing this transfer, and it occurs every other year. And then right-of-way fund has about $22,000 increase that is covering the year-end personnel needs. Based on the trend data, same thing is happening for the Public Works plumbing shop, which has an increase of about $25,000 to cover the personnel costs through the end of the year. And lastly, we have the general capital, which shows an expenditure budget increase of $520,000 related to those capital equipment transfer that's coming from the general fund for police, fire, and planning department. And that is our total increases of $2.3 million.
Okay.
Any questions?
All right, so before we go with questions from the commissioners, Ms. McClendon, do we have any citizens who are registered to speak on the city manager's recommendations?
There are 2 citizens registered to speak on calendar items.
Okay, all right. Please call them.
I would like to state that there is a 3-minute time limit. As you address the commission, we ask that you state your name and address for the record. At the time, I will turn on the green light. When the green light comes on, you will have 3 minutes to speak. After you have spoken 2.5 minutes, a yellow light will come on. You will have 30 seconds remaining to speak. When the red light comes on, you will be asked to cease your comments and take your seat. To the audience in attendance, please be mindful this is a business meeting, and we kindly request that during this portion of the meeting, you refrain from any hand clapping, finger snapping, and conversation that would prevent the City Commission from hearing the speaker's comments. I call to the podium Lynn Lamance.
Good morning.
Hi, my name is Lynn Lamance, 1061 Bertram Avenue. And I am here to speak on the Phoenix Project Police. I was here before, and I just wanted to first clear the air regarding the no communication, as that is an error. I have actually reached out to to City of Dayton Police, as well as citywide, as well as 2 individuals from Premier Health to actually get documentation actual documentation of what the Phoenix Police do, particularly in Fairview neighborhood. College Hill and Dayton View Triangle, if they're just going along with whatever, they can keep that and have that. But as far as the Fairview neighborhood, I've told you about feedback before from residents, but just to give further examples, in the scope of work, officers are expected to patrol the neighborhood on foot. I can tell you I have never seen this. Where is that documentation or proof? Officers will work closely with Fairview Elementary School. Fairview Elementary School actually had a first responders event earlier, I believe it was in September. Phoenix officers were not there. The last neighborhood meeting, Ray's drive-through actually got robbed back, I believe that was September as well. Phoenix officers did not note that. There is an officer manual that actually emails out every weekly or every bi-weekly police statistics. They're a little bit more in-depth than what the Phoenix officers provide. About a year ago, there was a missing persons on Catalpa. It happened to be one of my African neighbors that do not speak English. Again, we got that information from Channel 7 News. Thank you, Channel 7. Not the Phoenix officers. There have been a number of issues in Fairview that I personally have taken care of with either other residents or landlords in the area. Again, we can speak to the Phoenix officers, but they apparently, are not in our area. We can take care of them ourselves. So I'm asking and this is money to you all. I get that, right? You don't want to turn down money, no matter who it's from, right? But if Premier Health would actually just like to bypass the city and citywide and fund me personally for the neighborhood, I would be open to that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Lamance.
I call to the podium Ebony Hastings.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ebony Hastings, 1238 Wabash Avenue, Dayton, Ohio, 45405. I am here to speak about, as we go over the budget and the increase in police and fire presence. In the last 48 hours, we've had 5 shootings happen in our community. The police, I live on Wabash. We have speed bumps. The police speed up and down those speed bumps with those sirens going off because it's basically a connection from Salem to Fairview. And we need to take a holistic approach in regards to the violence and the things that have taken place in our community. The money that's being invested in the Phoenix Police is a joke. We have lacked the priority to prioritize a budget for children in Dayton. The entire inner city is suffering from PTSD with all of the violence we are exposed to. What happened to the shot spotters? I know that was a big expense for the city, but we haven't heard anything in regards to it. So I'm just saying, the increase in police, they are not doing their jobs, but they're inciting our PTSD. And then I would ask, honestly and transparently, are we negotiating the money spent to get the best value and the best pricing? We don't need greater police presence. I'm going to keep saying that. We need a holistic approach. We need to reinvest into our communities and offer resources for our children and their families. And I also would like for someone to take all of this money we're investing into the police, take a look at the vehicles, make sure that the brake lights are working, make sure that the headlights are working, make sure that they are truly responding to emergencies when they turn their lights on. It almost feels as though it's an abuse of power, and it feels like, and I know that we like to remove emotion from our rational and our logical thinking when it comes to these things, but as you can hear my voice trembling, that's how I feel when I'm getting off of 75, driving up Salem Avenue, and the frequency of police presence in regards to the sirens going off, and it does not seem like they're truly responding to things. You know, there was a car in Dayton View that hit a light pole. 0 police. The community is looking, trying to figure out, like, what's going on. Is this a stolen vehicle and those kinds of things. So if we're going to truly invest our tax dollars into increasing police and fire department, I have no complaint with the fire department. But the police specifically, Dayton is a joke when it comes to it. In regards to, like, I'm sitting here learning that there's an increase in recruitment and the earliness of them graduating. Quit playing in our face, respectfully. Stop playing in our face.
Okay, thank you for your comments.
That is all, Your Honor.
Okay, Commissioners, questions on the presentation or City Manager's recommendations? Commissioner Turner-Sloss.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Ms. Dickstein, for providing the additional context, especially as it relates to the agreement or the development agreement with calendar item D14. I do have a couple of questions in regards to calendar item D15, and that is with the Dayton Miami Valley Entrepreneur Center. And my question is more so in regards to the relationship with the Entrepreneur Center, the Greater Dayton or West Dayton Incubator, HRC, and IBROC. Like, where does this all come into play? And remind me, I'm just trying to remember if this is in fact the annual allocation that we commit to the Entrepreneur Center, and how are we merging all of these various different players with continuing the service, especially when you mentioned in D14 that Citywide has a play and a role in community development along with...
Correct. So in item 14, the citywide technical business assistance is around Techtown.
Yeah.
And the entrepreneurs or the technology companies focus there.
Okay.
The Entrepreneur Center is our investment in continuing to support entrepreneurs and small businesses, helping them to grow, helping them to scale, making sure they have the business resources affordably to support their growth and their success. The Entrepreneur Center, in partnership with the Dayton Urban League, are the contractors that are executing on the IBROC strategy.
Right.
Which provides the resources to support particularly the growth of minority and women-owned businesses. And they work in conjunction with, I believe, HRC was at that table as we were trying to put the IBROC strategy together. And so that's how they are aligned.
Okay. Can you give us a full, I want to give us a report on what they've done. I know we had a report some time ago.
Sure, and Scott Korndike was
Yeah.
here and
Yes.
made an annual
work session.
presentation, and we
Yes.
typically have him come and do that.
Yes, that'd be helpful. I'm just trying to get an understanding. I know you explained it, but we have all these various different players, and I'm just trying to understand, like, what is the return of our investment, how we really starting to see the work, and again, HRC, right, that's in-house, what are we doing to make sure that we are protecting that organization in the sense of providing them with the level of resources and support that they need, especially with all of the various different challenges that we have coming down from the federal level?
Sure, and just to clarify again, HRC helps with the certification of minority companies, but they are not providing technical and business assistance. They don't have the mentors, advisors, the business people surrounding the companies, like, like the tech and SBDC. They provide a different kind of service, which is supporting the actual business operations and helping them to be strategic and around their business plans to grow and scale their businesses. That's not the work HRC is doing. HRC is helping to certify and make sure that we're creating opportunities for businesses to get access to government funding. So they are at the table, but they have a different role. And then the Entrepreneur Center, and so that's how it's different.
Okay.
We've provided reports with regards to the Entrepreneur Center.
Yeah, and it was a very detailed report.
yeah.
I just need to get an understanding of, like, how are we making sure that we are merging those various different efforts to continue the growth. And then again, like, what comes into play, like, where is IBROC in all of this? Understanding that we did award the partnership with the Entrepreneur Center in conjunction with Miami Valley Urban League, but where are we now with that? And perhaps that's a conversation.
And remember, they just
offline.
got
They
kicked
just
off,
got- yeah.
so there'll be some updates and periodic reporting to you all as they start churning and achieving, right?
Okay, thank you. And then the final question that I have, thank you for that, I appreciate it. The other question that I have is in regards to C13 and just some of the comments that was raised in terms of Premier Health Partners and the service agreement with Phoenix Next. Just really trying to, have we received any reports or anything from Phoenix Next? Or understanding that I do know that that's more so on the
I know that
side.
the Phoenix Next Committee, which has city representation, citywide representation, premier representation, review the performance of the Phoenix Next officers, and they receive reports of activity. I don't know that I have seen a report. I probably can certainly request one and get a copy for you all as a follow-up.
Okay. I mean, because the comments are, they're warranted in terms of some of the various different illicit behavior that we have seen and noted in Fairview. And so if we have this presence that is there, what are we doing to make sure that we are mitigating and finding solutions to address a number of those concerns that we see that are happening citywide, but more so in this case with the Phoenix Next project. So I appreciate it. Thank you. The other question that I have is in regards to it's in more so in line with, I'm trying to find it, excuse me, the Wright brother hangars. Do we have a structural report? Did we receive anything from that report?
The purchase order that's on the calendar is to get the structural assessment done,
Okay.
and then you will have a report.
Okay, very good. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
good?
I appreciate it.
Okay, Commissioner Fairchild.
Yeah, I had a question on the budget for Ms. Tell Joan.
Question on that, too.
Did I hear you correctly say that on the paramedicine contract, the city is primarily now funding that exclusively?
That's correct. We're still receiving $25,000 contribution from Premier towards the community paramedicine, but it's funded with 2 FTEs, and so the expenditures are around $200,000 annually.
Okay. Because if I remember that program correctly, this diverts people from utilizing the emergency rooms, both at Kettering's Grandview location and Miami Valley. I'm guessing the value to those organizations might be a little bit more than $25,000 and zero. I don't know if there's an opportunity to.
We had those conversations, Commissioner, and they chose to decrease their funding to the 25.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your work on trying to have them pay their fair share. And then, I just wanted to recognize John Reich. He missed the comments last week. We want to thank you for the work you've done on that cybersecurity program. I know you have an excellent team, and you'll give them all the credit, but we want to recognize you as their team leader and the conscientious work that you do. So thank you.
Okay, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Commissioner? Okay, good here. Okay. So I'd like to have a motion then to approve the city manager's recommendations.
Your Honor, I move we approve the city manager's recommendations.
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to approve the city manager's recommendations. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Okay. Legislation, please, Ms. McClendon.
First reading emergency ordinance number 32172-25, amending the city's appropriations for the year 2025 and declaring an emergency.
Having been declared an emergency, I move for the immediate passage of ordinance number 32172-25.
Thank you, and second.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to have resolution number 32172-25 be declared an emergency. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Okay.
Second reading resolution number 6907-25, resolution to adopt a cybersecurity program that safeguards the City of Dayton's data, information technology, and information technology resources to ensure availability, confidentiality, and integrity in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 9.64. Mayor Mims.
Aye.
Commissioners Joseph.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Fairchild.
Aye.
Turner-Sloss.
Aye.
Second reading resolution number 6908-25, concurring with the adoption of the Madden Hills Neighborhood Plan. Mayor Mims.
Aye.
Commissioners Joseph.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Fairchild.
Aye.
Turner-Sloss.
Aye.
That is all, Your Honor.
Okay, so we have board appointments.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move the reappointment of Myla Cardona Jones, Kate Conway, R.J. Francisco, Nazipo Glenn, Eunice Ibrahim, Kathleen Kirsch, David Larson, Jean Dudu Makunzi, Jorge Gerardo Ramirez Piedra, Claire Preston, Mary Reed, Brian Stewart, and Pete Williams to the Welcome Dayton Committee for a term ending December 31st, 2028.
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to reappoint Myra Cardona Jones, Kay Conway, R.J. Francisco, Epizino Glean, and I don't want to mess up this last one here, Mr. Yusuf Ibrahim, thank you. Kathleen Kirsch, David Larson, Jean Janu Makunzi, George Guerrero, Claire Preston, Mary Reed, Brian Stewart, and Pete Williams. Thank you for the easy one on the last one. Appreciate that. Okay. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Okay, thank you so much. All right. Test. Okay, Ms. Clinton, do we have any citizens who are registered to speak?
There are 3 citizens registered to speak. I would like
Okay.
to remind everyone of the 3-minute time limit, and I call to the podium Lynn Lamance.
Hi, Lynn Lamance, 1061 Bertram Avenue.
Good morning again.
Good morning. I just want it noted that a lot of department heads do leave before citizen comment. So if I'm providing work for them to do, like Steve Gondel, the fire department, they done left out of here. Okay, so we need some boardings in the Frock Priority Board area. 149 West Fairview Avenue, the back door is open. 139 West Norman, the side door is open. 224 West Fairview Avenue.
Slow down just a little bit.
Back door, side door. 932 Richmond Avenue, front door. 52 West Muma, front door is open. 268 Delaware Avenue, the front door is open. This is Darius's Five Oaks neighborhood, okay? 169 West Fairview Avenue, back door is open. 20 East Bruce Avenue, the front doors are pried open. 44 Fountain Avenue, back door. 52 East Parkwood, the back door has been open, and that was the fire department that had pulled those people out of there and nuisanced it up. 118 Connect, back door is open. 165 Victor Avenue, side window is open. 35 Ernst, side window is open. 600 West Fairview, side door is open. 157, 159 West Fairview Avenue. There are white people going into the vacant properties in the Hillview neighborhood. 1972 North Main Street, back door is open. 2309 Catalpa, the front window is open. Again, this is the Phoenix neighborhood, Fairview, Premier Health. 159 Marathon Avenue, the front door is open. 132 Elmwood, back door is open. If we can have the fire department or somebody please board these. Thank you.
Okay. Please leave that list with us.
It's emailed to you.
Okay, thank you.
I call to the podium Kathleen Galt.
Kathleen Galt, 5066 Safeway Drive, Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Quote, "The arc of the moral universe is long and it bends towards justice." And I want to congratulate Commissioner Shanice Turner-Sloss, Commissioner Fairchild, Darius Beckham on their successes. I also want to thank Mayor Mims for your service, your years of service. I want to thank you we were on clearly opposite sides of the hospital issue, and I want to really thank you for always being gracious. I never felt any kind of attitude from you about my particular stance, so I know that's not always easy in your position, so I thank you for that.
Welcome.
So most of you know the CCC's justice has been very long, and we've literally put in tens of thousands of hours, free, unpaid hours for 7 years. Unpaid hours. That's how much we believed in this issue, bringing justice to the hospital. I want to thank, because our journey has been very long. We've petitioned, we've lobbied Premier, the city officials. We filed a federal complaint. There was a UN hearing where we were involved in that. We were beamed into Zurich, actually. So I want to thank Reverend Jones, who's now deceased, Reverend Carter, Bishop Cox, Reverend Worthen, Father Ben, David Greer, Charlene Bayless, Ivy Young, Bill Davis, and many, many others who helped us on this journey. I want to thank Michael Harbaugh in particular for our 4th round of collections. We wouldn't have gotten over that goal line without his incredible help. And there are many, many others who helped us over the months collecting signatures besides Michael, Logan Martinez, Lynn Lamance, Christopher Jones, and all of the many others who helped collect close to 10,000 signatures. I want to thank the voters for stepping up to the plate. We set it out. We set up the foundation for this issue, for this issue to move forward. The voters stepped up to the plate. Without them, we listened to your stories. We wouldn't have continued to do what we were doing, except that we were hearing your stories about what you felt about the closing, how you felt it was such an injustice. So again, a lot of us didn't stay involved, but for the sake of the voters, of the residents of Northwest Dayton. I want to thank Nancy Keel for being the super glue of our group the last 2 years. She is amazing at maintaining, holding our group together. To those who will be carrying this push for healthcare justice forward down the field in 2026.
Thank you for your comments.
Please? Did you get a beep? Did I get a beep?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you for your comments.
I call to the podium Ebony Hastings.
Good morning again.
Ebony Hastings, 1238 Wabash Avenue, Dayton, Ohio, 45405. I am back again about the violence in Dayton, the trust people have in our institutions, and the crisis that is taken on us. Violence in 2025, let's not forget their names. Teron Pate, January 1st. Tony Owensby, January 1st. Matika Brown, February 11th. Markia Hunter, March 16th. An unnamed victim, May 29th. Santana Buchanan, July 28th. Joseph Brandenburg, August 13th. DeLaquan Smith, August 13th. Tanner Stagg, September 18th. Hillary Farr, September 14th. Legacy Taylor, October 10th. Jaheim Everson, October 21st. We have to take a holistic approach. We do not need increased police presence. We do not need to continue to invest our money into police presence when they're doing nothing but inciting our PTSD. It is rude for city workers to abruptly leave a business meeting while in session. The passing of the city manager's recommendations without question is very concerning and questions leadership. Our concerns feel like they fall on deaf ears. The smirks and the dispositions is insane. The professionalism is lack. It is necessary to be engaged, professional, and provide a response respectfully.
Okay, thank you for your comments, Ms. Hastings.
That is all, Your Honor.
Okay, commissioners, first, Ms. Dixon, closing comments.
Your Honor, the only thing I would make comment on is the staff have received the email with the complaints that Ms. Lamance outlined and responded.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. McClendon, any closing comments?
I have none, Your Honor.
Have none. Commissioners, closing comments. Commissioner Turner-Sloss.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of comments. Would like to thank all of the recipients for the 2025 Joseph T. Klein Award, Ms. Kate Spencer from the Foundation, Ms. Meredith Klein, and continuing her family legacy, and all 9 recipients. And for the sake of time, I would not repeat their names, but thank you very much, Ms. Patel-Jones, for the presentation this morning. Ms. Lamance, thank you for your comments, for sending those concerns over to the staff, and thank you to the staff for addressing those concerns. I do have a request. We have to find, and I know there is some best practices out there, and there's a number of different things. Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Number of different things that we're looking at, but could we find, or if you could provide us a report as to what are some of the best practices that are being used in regards to boarding, because it's as if we keep boarding, the boards are coming down, and I know that we are taking great interest in downtown and some of the various different provisions that we're putting in place with the boarding of and making sure those structures are secure with the dog boards. So perhaps if we can model something similar to that in our residential neighborhoods. I know that there may be a price point to that, and I know that that is a factor. But if there's something that we can look at to find a way and means to secure those structures, especially as we are rolling into the winter months, I think we can see a significant decrease in cost in boarding. And I know this is something that we've talked about offline before, but I'll be interested in seeing if there are some other best practices, or if there's a...
We can certainly provide an update. That is something that we look at routinely.
Yes.
Many times, any of those systems beyond the plywood are 2 and 3 times at minimum at cost. The reason they are used downtown is because those structures are of greater value, and right next to, or adjoined to other buildings that could create issues as well. But we do stay current on that, Commissioner, and we can provide an update memo on that.
Thank you. Just so we can try to avoid some of the repetitive work that we're doing, and finding ways that we can reduce those boarding contracts so that they can be more utilized in a more efficient and manner in addressing some of those ills in our neighborhoods. Ms. Galt, thank you for being here. Thank you for your leadership and recognizing all those who played a role in pushing forward the ballot initiative. I really appreciate you highlighting those individuals. And as you mentioned, a number of other folks that were not mentioned due to sake, right? Your 3 minutes. Ms. Hastings, thank you for your comments and for uplifting the names of those who we have lost in 2025. Know that it is the commitment, and I hope I'm not out of turn with speaking for the entire commission, but the violence in our community is in fact a priority. And so I believe within the next couple of months, we should start seeing more things happening in terms of the violence interruption program. So more to come on that. There's also other means and other provisions that are taking place. I don't know if you were aware of the Governor DeWine's, his stance in advancing in technology. And so all those various different things. I know you raised a point about ShotSpotter, but they're looking at use of technology, a number of different things, as well as to your point, right, what are the holistic models that we are modeling after, or that we are adopting rather, whether it's working with our partners with many other social services that are doing this work on a daily basis. So those conversations are happening, and there's work that is being done. But again, this is the model and the process of how do we best execute some of those best practices and having the conversations. But again, the violence interruption piece should be coming out here within the next couple of months, if not even sooner. And the goal is, and again, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, is to be proactive before we start rolling into the spring and summer months. So the work is being done, conversation is being had, in addition to what is being done with the DPD, and that is not just recruiting officers. Well, mind you, we're only at 344. The goal is 365, and that is the number that is allocated in terms of the metropolitan size according to the number of residents that we have in the city of Dayton. But there's other means and practices. So thank you for your comments, and they are not falling on deaf ears. And last thing, Ms. Reed, thank you so much for all of your great work in bringing this before us. As mentioned last week, the Department of Recreation is doing some great work. They're hosting a holiday tour featuring 3 festival events at each of the recreation centers. Families can celebrate the season with holiday-themed games, activities, and crafts. Don't forget to wear your favorite holiday attire. The second stop holiday happening will take place at the Greater Dayton Recreation Center Friday, December 12th from 6 to 8. Thank you. That's all I have.
So, yeah, you good? Okay. Commissioner Fairchild.
Yeah, I just have a couple of events coming up, but first, Kathleen Galt, I want to thank you. You thanked everyone else. I want to thank you for your work and your commitment to our city and the well-being and the health care access for all of our citizens. So thank you for your work. And thank you, Commissioner, for your comments. I won't repeat those. There are a couple opportunities for folks this weekend. Between now and Friday, if you'd like to share some winter clothing for DPS students who have to stand in early mornings outside in the cold, there are drop-off bins between now and Friday at the Central Services, Wagaman Middle School, Wright Brothers Middle School, Belmont High School, and Meadowdale High School. And so every item of clothing that you drop off will be shared with one of the DPS students to help keep them warm during these cold months. Stivers has their Stivers Celebrates this Friday. The reception starts at 5:30. Performance to follow. It's at the Masonic Temple. And the Dayton Ballet and the Philharmonic present the Nutcracker. little grief for me. It's the first year my daughter won't be dancing in it for many years, so I am looking forward to going in attendance and watching it with her. But it's a great performance, and I have to tell you, last year the new artistic director refreshed the performance, so if you haven't seen it in a while, he got rave reviews for that refresh. I think it's an excellent refresh. It centers the story in Dayton with a Dayton toy maker. Nice. So it's a wonderful performance. The first showing is this Saturday, the 13th at 2:30, with a second performance at 7:30 that evening. And there's, I think, about 10 total performances over the next 10 days. So invite people to come out for that.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mr. Shaw.
Just one quick announcement. Would encourage everyone to come check out the Holidays at the Dayton Arcade. Today, tomorrow, and Friday from 3 to 8 p.m. You can do some holiday shopping from over 50 small business vendors. There'll be great food, live entertainment, family-friendly activities, a cash bar, and holiday surprises. This is a great opportunity for you to support your local businesses and have some holiday fun. And for more information, you can go to arcadedayton.com.
Okay, that's it. Okay, just follow up just a little bit on Commissioner Turner-Sloss's comments regarding the safety issues and some of the violence issues that we have in the city of Dayton. We did have a conference with the governor last week, and they talk about the issues associated with bringing more and more safety issues to the city of Dayton, including using drones, helicopters, and other type of technology in those spaces as well. And again, looking at the police force that we have currently right now, and the fact that we've been able to increase the numbers of police, still not at our full strength, as was mentioned again by Commissioner Turner-Sloss, but increasing those by having 2 classes per year. And just last week, having one graduating class, 119th class of our policemen graduate to make sure we can do everything we can to keep the safety progress moving in the city of Dayton. We did have a reduction of 18% in terms of crime, violent crime in this city from 2024 to 2025. But it never hurts us to have citizens talk to us about the concerns that we have as far as safety in this city is concerned. So don't feel like we're not listening, because we are, and we keep making all the efforts we can to make Dayton safer. Additionally, my colleagues mentioned already about the great work before us at Stivers School for the Arts. I think the arts program, Stivers School for the Arts, presents their Stivers congratulates their largest number of employees in terms of their program, not employees, but their annual performance, which will be held today, again, not today, but Friday, starting at 5:30 and going until 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock in terms of the whole program. This is something very special. I'm going to attend that myself, being a musician, a little artist myself. I think these things are great for our young people. Stivers has been one of the flagship schools, not just here in the city of Dayton, but also in the nation. Some of you may remember, I think as recently as maybe 10 years ago, Stivers was ranked number 5 in the nation in terms of overall achievement with our students. And then academics achievement, as well as athletic, as well as the art, all the kind of things associated with that. Just so many great things happening in those spaces. I know we continue to find ways of trying to spread the love, get more and more of our schools to function again with support to get the same kind of results that they're getting at Stivers. So again, at the Masonic Temple, I hope to see you there. It's a great, great program. Additionally, I want to thank Dr. Johnson from Sinclair and also Dr. Eric Spina from UD for their community Christmas parties that they had yesterday. Very well attended. A lot of individuals just to give thanks to this community for the support that they give in this community, as well as what the community has given to them. And additionally, today, excuse my voice, at 10:30, we have the Senior Citizens Holiday Luncheon at Sinclair. So I think they've already gotten their tickets. They're already doing whatever they need to do to make sure they have their appetites sharpened up for the event coming up today at 10:30. So, with no further business to come before this commission, love and peace for all and hatred for none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.